Guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we are going to be setting up a Steve's Carts quarry. Oh yeah, and I hope you guys are ready. So today we're going to be dealing with some Steve carts, and I've already gotten pretty much everything ready to go. We really need to find out where exactly we want to place the Steve's carts. We want to have it linked into our main system here, so that way we can make sure that it'll be filled with charcoal. And then we're probably going to upgrade this furnace today to make this a little bit of a faster process, because this is just not keeping up with our demand. So in order to do that, I have all of the stuff for Steve carts ready to go. I have been hard at work in making them. It's actually a lot easier than I originally thought it was going to be to actually get these. To be honest, the cargo manager and the external distributor are probably the hardest things to craft. Everything else is pretty straightforward and simple. I mean, look at the drill. Like, the drill is super simple. I just clicked and sorted everything. Oh, that hotkey. But anyways, I know exactly where everything needs to go. So if we take this, we'll know that these things are separated in their own individual categories. So right here we have these modules, which are called attachments. You can see it right there in the type. You have these, which are called add-ons. You have these, which are called storage. And you have the drill, which is called a tool. And of course your engine, which is the type. So we need to set this up. First, we need to make a hull. And we're going to go with a standard hull, which we've made in the past. We need 2 wheels and just some iron, and that'll make a standard hull. We throw that standard hull inside of our cart assembler, and as you can see, bam, 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 there it is. Let's go ahead and throw the engine on it. That is going to put a little engine here. You can see if we take that off, put it back on. The tool is going to be a drill, because of course we're going to be using this for a quarry. And then we're going to take our chest, which is going to be storage, which we can do the attachments first, I guess. We'll go ahead and do this. This is a torch placer. It's going to place torches for us. A railer, going to place down rails for us. And then we'll add a bridge builder, which will kind of help. Let's close this door just in case mobs. This is going to basically, if there's fluid in the way or lava, it'll build a bridge for us. And pretty much, block out all that. All right, so the storage, we're going to go ahead and use a top chest and 3 internal storages, which basically just add the storage slots inside there. Just add more storage, which is really, really nice. And then we have add-ons. We're going to need a height controller, and we're going to need a liquid sensor. This is the height controller will allow you to choose how high the machine can go, or how high or low you want it to go and where you want it to stay at to actually mine. And then we have the liquid sensor, which will detect if there's fluids in the way. If there are fluids in the way, it'll allow the bridge builder to work better, and also prevent your cart from just deep diving into lava, which you definitely don't want to happen. So once we have all these attachments ready to go, we're just about ready. The only other thing you might need later on is going to be a cargo manager and an external distributor, which we already have on our other one that I showed you how to use, and then some advanced detector rails, which are very simple. Now, we will need a lot of time for this. This is going to take about 30 minutes. It's going to take 29 minutes to assemble this cart. And the complexity is the whole complexity capacity is about at max. The total cost, as you can see right here. So it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take a little bit of fuel as well. And so all we got to do now is hit that assemble button, and we really just have to wait 29 minutes, and that's real time, real in-game time. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go get dinner and go hang out with my wife for about 30 minutes. And I'll meet you guys whenever this is done. So I have another cart that we're going to need to make. And I want to go ahead and sort of mention this. I am following, pretty much, I've never made this setup before. So I'm actually using a really nice resource. There's a channel called Danny and Son. We'll link that down in the description below. You guys will be able to find that. But man, he has a pretty slick setup that we're going to be using for this automated rail system, for this rail quarry. And I'll link that down in the description below, so if you guys want to follow along, or you can just follow along here. But anyways, we're going to be using a wooden hull to make a track remover, and this is going to be very handy. This is going to allow us to pretty much make a continuous quarry, and it'll continue without us needing to make a large amount of rails, which is really, really useful. So we'll drop an engine. We're going to use a wooden hull. As you can see, the total complexity, we can't go over this cap. None of these have a complexity higher than that. So the tool is, or the attachment, you can see right here, type attachment, is going to be the track remover, which is going to pull the tracks. And then we need somewhere to store them. And there we go. It's really that simple. This is a track remover. It's all it takes. And all we need to do now, oh wait, it says there is a cart in the departure bay. Oh wait, yeah, our regular cart's done. Look at me being derpy. So yeah, this one's ready to assemble. So this is the other cart we're going to make. And here is our lovely cart. As you can see, it renders right in our hand. Very, very nice. And we could technically go ahead and get this thing set up and get it starting a tunnel while this cart is being made. Let's go ahead and work on that. So we will need some rails. And rails, of course, are not that cheap because we have Railcraft in here. So let's take a look at how we are going to go ahead and make these things. So, like rail. Regular old vanilla rail, right? Is going to require the standard rails, which we should get those from the rolling machine. So let's get some iron, which we're going to need a bit of for this process. We'll throw that all in the rolling machine. I'm going to make 64 for right now. This should be enough for 64 to get started. While that's being worked on, oh, I guess we have to be in here in order to see it working. Okay. That makes sense. So yeah. Okay, so there's 8. One more. Click to craft. And that'll be another one. And then that is going to give us enough standard rails, I think, to make these normal rails. So we also need to make these wood ties, which we're going to require some creosote. We've already got tons of creosote. So let's take a look in here. Railcraft creosote. Look at there. There's 16 rail ties. That'll make a few of those. And we have a few of these. Look at there. And that'll be 64 rails for right now. Or I guess we can make, oh, we can make even more than that. Perfect. That works. Okay. So it is getting dark. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go wait for it to kind of lighten up a bit. I'm going to grab over here, I'm going to grab some charcoal. And we're going to get this started here very soon. So I think this is going to be a perfect place to go ahead and get this thing started and get it started in mining. We do need to get some track down so we can even place this thing. And we'll place this guy here. And right now, he is ready to start. We just need to give it some fuel and to activate this drill. But there is a few things that we have here. We have this controller that allows us to change the height. And we can use this to our advantage. We can use this to say, all right, I know exactly where certain things are at that I want to mine for. One is specifically diamond. We do need a lot of diamond. We need a lot of iron. We need a lot of emerald. Emerald is something that we're probably not going to be getting where we're at. But if we take a look at, let's say, just any ore, even diamond, it's between Y level 0 and 16, I believe. But there's some other ore, like copper and lead. And another good one would be nickel. That's probably the good height, like a nickel height. So it's between Y level 5 and 20. So maybe Y level... Let's take a look at this thing. Where is a good level? It says Y level 11 is a good level. That would probably best suit us because that'll be the track level, giving us a little bit higher in each category. Because everything else starts to fall off. So I think 11 will be a good place for this. Alright, so up here we have fuel. And when we do that, let's disable the drill real quick. Because otherwise it's going to continue to start going. We don't want it to start going yet, because it doesn't have any tracks. Right? So we can kill this. I think we can disable the engine. Yeah, for right now. Let's go ahead and break you. I need you going this way. Alright, so let's get this set. I don't think we can scroll or anything. Oh, I guess you can, like, reset the height by clicking the center point. That's interesting. Alright, so Y level 11, right? That's what we got. That was fine. We'll put the fuel in. We need to get more rails in here. And we also need to make some torches. So all of which we can do. Let's go ahead over here. We'll grab some charcoal. We're going to make a bunch of torches. Just like so. We'll make a whole bunch of these. Of course, we'll have some for later as well, but this will get the job done. We only have room for 3 slots. Right, so 3 slots here. And then we can control the light level that it'll place torches at. And I'm going to set this pretty far down. Threshold 2, current 7. Yeah, 2 was fine. And then the railer is going to, of course, get all the rails. And then the bridge builder, we need to get it some stone. Stone is what will work. Wood will also work, but you don't want to use wood because it could burn. Unless you have fire tick off, then I guess you could. So we need some stone in here. I'm also going to grab some cobblestone, throw it in all the furnaces to get that cooking. There we go. Turn the redstone furnace on. I had it disabled earlier because I upgraded this to the tier 2 dynamo. Now this thing is producing 240 RF a tick, which is really, really handy. And I think we're about ready, right? We should be good. This should be enough material for the bridge builder temporarily, in case it encounters anything. And then, yeah, we should be just about ready to go. We'll go ahead and enable the drill right here. Set this to high priority. And drop the fuel in. I think I might need more than the amount of fuel that's in there. We'll go ahead and put two sets here. And this guy is going to mine out a 3x3 placing rails. Pretty interesting. I'm going to grab some of that dirt. There you go. And yeah, it's going to completely mine this out, storing all of its contents in here, and then also placing torches and lighting it up along the way. And there's a few other quirks that we're going to have to get into, but this is where our rail system is going to go. And let's kind of go ahead and get this thing figured out. Let's go down here. Let's grab a couple of rails out of this guy. Let me grab a little bit more. When it runs out of rails, it will come back, so we got to be careful. We don't want it near too much stuff because it could just technically break all of our stuff here. But I'm going to go ahead and clear this out. Place down a couple tracks. What we're going to do is we're going to have it come up. It's going to wrap around here. And have it wrap around. And work its way back. Just like that. Pretty simple. I think we might need to bring this a little farther out. For our use case. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to need a cargo manager. I might as well just place the cargo manager right here. And we're going to need a couple of detector rails. Those detector rails are going to go right here. Bam and bam. Alright, and now to configure the sides. So, on this side, which is the yellow side, right? The yellow side, all the way down here, which we can actually change sides. This is going to be the side that gets input into. And I think we need to set this right here to go in to the actual manager. So on the yellow side, things are going to go in. And then we can set this to what we actually want to go in. I don't think we want the rails. Yeah, we do want the rails. So we want it to pretty much empty its rails, I guess, into here. Or, no. We wanted to keep its rails. Change cart. Let's see. Change part of cart. We want the storage to be dumped in here. So there we go. There's the storage. Everything else, like this, we don't want anything leaving going into the storage. So we'll swap that. On this side is going to be a little bit different. This is the blue side. We want it to input rails into the blue side. So pull rails out, and I think we might need to change this to the yellow. We can change the color here. Yellow. It'll go on this side. And we'll set this to the rails. Right? So it'll pull rails out and dump them over here. That will work. Yeah, that'll work. Because the railer is technically going to come over here. The derailer is going to come over here and it's going to put stuff in his. All right. This needs to go into the manager. Then we need rails to be pulled out on the blue side. Just like that. Perfect. So that should technically set this up. This bad boy looks like it's all the way down here already. Doing its thing. Is it stuck? Nope. It's still mining it up. Look at this. This is perfect. Like, I love this so much. So now all we need to do is get our other carts set up and get them rotating in a specific pattern, and we should be ready to go. So we're going to need 2 types of rails, or I guess a normal rail. I don't know how hard it's going to be to make them. We need a detector rail. So yeah, we are going to need some standard rails. So more iron in the rolling machine. We should be good. So for this next setup, all we need now is to set up the detector rails. So detector rail here, here, and then run some redstone in between. Basically, when the cart lands on here, it will be detected, sending the other cart on its way. It'll feed here, go back over here, land here, and wait for the other cart to come back. And then it will send the cart on its way. Perfect. So this setup should technically work. The only thing we need to do now is get our other cart out, which should be done. And that is the track picker-upper. And then we have one other step to do. Let's go ahead and give this guy some fuel. I think this should work. We'll take some of that. We'll give it some fuel. I need to make sure it's going in the right direction. Needs to go in that direction. Like that. It should hit that. Oh, nope. Nope, nope, nope. You gotta come back. Maybe it's not a detector rail. It needs to be the other rail. Oh, goodness. So yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. No, 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 no. I'm gonna have a hard time breaking this. Let me turn his engine off. That did not work as planned. Let's go ahead and set these rails back up for this guy. Alright, so let's go fix this. So I made a derpy mistake. We need 2 advanced detector rails here. And this is going to stop the cart until it receives a redstone signal. But as you can see, this cart is ready to go, but we do have kind of an issue. As you can see, when it come up here, because the rail was broken, it decided it was going to go ahead and break these blocks. Now, it will do that, but we have a way of fixing that. Let's kind of go in here, and we have another block we can make. So, we take a look into Steve's carts. We can see a modular trigger right here, or a module trigger. And we need a little bit of dye for this. I think we have the ability to get the dye, but we do need to actually gather it. So, red flour. That should be pretty simple, right? Now the other hard part, and then it's finding a poppy. There we go. And lovely dandelions, you're good. Sorry flowers. Or sorry bees, I should say. And we'll combine these 2 things together, we'll get our orange dye. And that should allow us to fix this, because the only other dye we need is orange. So combine those, or the only other dye we need is blue, sorry. There we go. And yeah, we should be able to make this trigger. So this module trigger is going to be very interesting in itself. We need to go all the way down here, away from this guy, and then we're going to set this bad boy up. Alright, so once it hits this point, which is it's going to be coming back up, once it hits this point over here, we need it to do a certain thing. So I'm going to set it to here. Well, I guess I can leave the rail. I need to set this guy here. So we have a side going orange and a side going blue. So we need to disable the drill when it goes into a certain position. So on blue, we want it to go this way. We want the drill to be active. You can see right here, the drill is 1. 1 is active. When it's in orange, we want it to deactivate. So right here, the drill is active. If when it comes back to this point, we can see right here, the drill is deactivated, which is perfect. So now that whenever we get up here, all the way back up this crazy mess, we should be able to get this thing set up, and it should start working. And then I'll kind of explain to you how we're going to get this thing to function. So all we need to do now is get our rails placed back, like so. We'll place the rail here and rail here. And we need a couple more rails, which I think kind of got put inside this guy. Which is fine. He is going to actually stop when we get up here. And he's got some rails that are down there. I might need to just make some more rails, if I have the ability to. Let's go ahead and make some. Look, what all I need is some creosote, I'm guessing. That's perfectly fine. Let's see. We just need some bottles, which I think I have some in here. Oh yeah, plenty. Plenty, plenty, plenty. Just like that. And there we go. Perfect. Alright, so we have some more track. This guy is stopped right now because he's waiting, which is exactly what I want it to do. And we need to send that railer down to collect. So remember, this side is going to be collecting the rails over here. And it looks like it's sort of mixing our cargo up. I don't exactly want it to do that. I'm wondering why this is being... Okay, I guess it's all going into the same thing. We could change how this actually works and have this set up to specific sides. So like if we actually separated this, we could do this. I don't think it matters. Yeah, I don't think it matters. It don't matter what side it's on. Alright, so that should technically work. And we have our rails here. They picked up any rails that will happen from the railer needs to go on the yellow side. Okay. And any rails that are in here needs to be expelled into the railer on the blue one. Okay, that should work. Other than that, I think this is perfectly fine. Alright. So the only thing left to do is send our railer out and have it go pick up some carts. Or pick up some rails. So it's going to go down there. It's going to start picking up the rails. Now, we need it to... I think once it goes down to this main part, it's actually going to stop picking up rails on the way back up because of this modular guy. We should be able to. I don't think there's a... No, it will pick up the rails. Track removing. We need to set it like this. So that way it will remove tracks when it's on this side, but when once it gets past this part, we don't want it to remove tracks like this. Because this is, of course, going to take a long time. And yeah, we don't want it removing these tracks. So, yeah, we need to kind of disable you right now. Okay. So with that disabled, we'll go ahead and punch this guy, pick up our rails, and then we'll try again. So the reason we don't want this thing picking up rails whenever we come around here, because it'll pick up all of our rails, and that's no good. That's not a good thing. So this guy needs to be placed down here. We need it set. I think there's a way. There's not a way here, but there is another way. We can go ahead and push this guy with a lever. We'll grab a lever, and then we'll get this to function. A little bit complicated, but overall, it should work. Like this should totally work. All right, we need a lever. Like I said, it's my first time setting this up, so I'm kind of learning with you guys. So I hope that's kind of fun. Yeah, let's go ahead and get a Let's get some redstone going along here. Unless we can activate this directly. No. We need redstone on the other side. Okay, so that has no tracks, right? So it'll hit that bottom part and then probably turn around. Alright, so we're going to have to put some rails in it when it gets stopped up here. It should probably send itself back around. Put some rails in it. Alright, and then you go back to doing what you are supposed to do. And that is not pick up my lever. So, now that our cart is coming back up after it did its little mining trip, it should send this guy out now, and everything should technically work. This should work. This really should. I'm going to take some more charcoal. Just make sure this has enough charcoal. So that should unload everything. And as soon as it's done unloading, it should hit this, activating the other detection rail. This should do a check. And that stops now. That's going to go down. And that should technically stop derailing. And it should not start derailing this area. It should only derail a very certain place. And it should stop derailing right here. It should, anyways. Alright, so. Yes, so now it's starting to pull some tracks. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some tracks since it's doing that. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do after it heads its way back up. And we're going to really get this party started. Because this is where this guy starts to work wonderfully. Alright, so. It's doing its business. Maybe I should grab a couple more tracks here. I think that's plenty. And it should stop once it hits this modular toggler. Or module toggler. It didn't. So that's not doing what it's supposed to do. Track removing. I mean, it should work, right? Do I need a detector rail? Because this should stop. Track remover should stop. Reverse cart direction. Alright, so let's try this again. It should be removing rails. We put that in. I put a detector, or advanced one there. Ah, now there it goes. So yeah, I guess it did need the advanced detector rail to sort of tell it what to do. Okay, so now that that's working, we know it's working perfect. We can go ahead and set up our tracks. Now, I do notice this area is probably going to be a little bit of a troublesome area. So I'm probably going to start my section over here. So I'll put a rail here. And what's going to happen is this rail is going to kind of go this way, like so. And then when it hits this part, it's going to automatically curve. Now, if we set two of them here, it'll choose one or the other, but this way the other rail cart will come by, pick all these rails up, and then it won't do this area. So we can like quarry out this huge area here, and you can see it ran out of rails because, of course, I guess our railer didn't fill it back up. I don't know what it's doing. Oh wait, what are you doing? I think he got messed up. Alright, something happened. Did he run out of fuel or something? Alright, you're not supposed to be here. Maybe it got messed up somehow. I don't really know. Drill, enable drill. Yeah, go. Alright, so let this guy go. I'm just going to set a couple more rails up. So we see this starts at 3, so we should be able to put a rail here. And it does 3, this should put a rail here. Same on this side. And we're basically skipping 2, putting a rail down. Skipping 2, putting a rail down. Just like that. And this should, you know, over time, we'll have to put some more rails in here. But it should totally have enough rails to mine out areas. I'm wondering where all of our rails went. Because I know we had more. Okay, so I think I have this thing situated now, and it's working just like it's supposed to. We have enough rails now that this thing should continue to pump this stuff out, and should work. We have tons of fuel. Oh, and whenever it mines up coal, it utilizes that as fuel, by the way. So yeah, it can kind of be self-sufficient if you have enough coal in the area, which there should be tons of coal at this level. But yeah, it looks like it's... Oh man, it's doing such a good job. Look at this diamond, by the way. I'm going to take this just for myself, because we now have a quarry, which is so nice. So nice. And yeah, this guy is automatically going to fix the light levels for us. Like, this is like perfect light level stuff going on here. And anytime we see like extras in the ceiling, like stuff like this, we're able to mine that up. Like, we're able to find all this other stuff that, you know, he kind of showed us. I call it a he, the minecart. And yeah, this is going to work perfect. Like, if we dig a hole here, by the way, he's going to use that stone to build a bridge as well. So yeah, I really, really love the train carts. These things are really awesome from Steve's Carts. It's just, it's so good. It's so good. So we get to basically let this guy do its thing, and now we need to figure out a way to pipe these items out and get this stuff sorted away. So now the moment of truth, we need to get this thing completely cleared out and pull everything out of this area, but we need to make sure we store these in a very specific way, and I think I have the perfect solution for that. Let's go ahead and get a barrel. I went ahead and made some diamond chests as well. The barrel is going to be for a few different things. Let's see, we need some slabs. Wish that was Ore Dictionary better. So yeah, we need a couple of these barrels. One for dirt, one for gravel, and one for cobblestone. And we're going to utilize these. We're going to place them, I guess, over here will be fine. And then over here we'll have the 2 diamond chests. Just like that. And what we need to do is we need to get these item ducts over here. And I'm pretty sure we can place them this way. It's not going to matter. And it will be pretty neat to kind of see the items flowing in. Alright. So in here, let's grab a few things. Like, I don't know, gravel, dirt. Let's grab some of that. We have some mobs on a roof or something. Yeah, these, I would like these to be prioritized first. So maybe we need to move these into a different, like, kind of location, different section here. Let's maybe put it so that way these are piped into first. Like this. And then the 2 diamond chests. Oh yeah, that'll be much better. Just like that. And that will definitely make sure that those go in first. And that'll prioritize. Alright, so we also need to put the servo on here. We'll slap that servo on. And we need to set this on blacklist. I guess this will be blacklist mode. Because we need to make sure that it doesn't pull out any rails. So let's turn this on. And it should pull out all the items out of here. Maybe I need to set this to actual blacklist. There we go. Okay, so blacklist. So it should pull everything out of here except for the rails. So you shouldn't see rails getting pulled out. And then we also need to make sure this is set up properly. Like that. So you can see some of these items are going to rotate in here. And they're going to be like, oh, I have nowhere to go. But the diamond chests definitely are huge storage. And we should have plenty of storage to keep this thing nice and running for us. And yeah, this is a nice little train quarry for us. Which, I mean, it seems like this guy's doing a pretty good job. Whenever he gets full, we should probably go check on it. Whenever this train gets full. And it also doesn't have a chunk loading module. But yeah, you can see it right here. It's actually coming back, which is perfect timing. Whenever it either runs out of track, which I don't know, I'll have to check and see if it ran out of track when it comes by. But it should unload all of its stuff. There it goes. Look at that. So yeah, it did run out of track. And it did not run out of storage, which is good. And so it's going to unload everything. And then this bad boy should be sent on his way to go remove some tracks. And then it's going to start quarrying in the other location. I am really, really, really loving this. Now, fueling. I think that this is going to be just fine fueling. Like, it's going to be fine by collecting itself. We'll find out. But if need be, we can put another detector rail here, and we can get coal from here to move over to here, which I think would be perfect. But yeah, I can just also maintain these. If they run out of fuel, they'll kind of get stuck, and then we'll have to go fetch them. But this guy gets stopped up here every now and then, so we should be able to check and at least see. And then if we ever need to change the height, we can do that. And it'll actually bridge, and should bridge, and start mining in that direction. So yeah, pretty cool. So I hope you guys learned something about Steve Karts and Steve Karts Quarries. If you did, I know I definitely learned something new. Definitely click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. I will see you guys in the next episode, and as always, thanks for watching.